Hi there boys, and welcome back to the channel. So just a heads up here, this video is going to be crazy speculative, but I thought I'd share some of the research I've been doing around Jack Frags Clock teaser, as I've actually found some interesting findings and theories. If you do enjoy this video, be sure to subscribe to stay notified and give this video a like so I know you enjoy this type of content. So I appreciate a lot of people will have been keeping up to date with all this. So I'll leave a timestamp below so you can just jump in straight to the new theories. For those who want a little bit of a refresher around the facts and the current theories around the clock, I'll run you through it now. At the end of Jack Frags' latest Battlefield 5 video released on the 7th of September, he releases an image of this plane followed by a video of a ticking clock that ticks 23 times, with the clock hands stuck on the number 6. Now people theorise this refers to Battlefield 6, and there's something in this video that gives us some information about the upcoming title. Now popular theories include the 23 ticks referring to the 23rd of September, so depending on when I release this video, that's either today or tomorrow, and this date could refer to more information being released about Battlefield 6 or maybe a further teaser. The second most popular theory I've seen is it refers to the 23rd of May 2018, which was actually the live stream event for Battlefield 5, its release event, and this ending by Jack Frags simply signifies the end of Battlefield 5, which is further supported by the writing on the plane which says the last stop. But I was interested in what else could be taken from the end of his video, so just positing some ideas that went through my head. First I thought, well, the gun on screen is the STG-44. Does that have any significance? When was that made? Like, what impacts does that have? Has that been seen in another Battlefield game? So that was my first line of questioning. Then I thought, well, what do the numbers mean on the STG-44? You can see 7302163. Is this just referring to the gun, or does this mean something more? I was also interested in the clock itself, the design on it. It's an odd design. I was wondering if we'd seen an image like that anywhere. And I was also interested in the number of ticks. So yes, we've been looking at 23 ticks, but if you notice at the end, the last 4 ticks are a lot slower than the rest of the 19 ticks. So I was wondering, maybe this refers to a date like the 19th of the 4th or the 23rd of the 4th. So I kind of dig into all of that, go through Wikipedia, go through the Battlefield EA page and DICE, and to see if any of this actually comes to fruition or leads down any paths of potential information regarding Battlefield 6. So yes, all very speculative as I said, but there are some interesting results. So I'll start with the most interesting theory and then we'll kind of go down from there. So I think the most interesting theory has to be to do with the ticks splitting it up into 19 and 4, so a date. Now there's been speculation about whether it's going to be a modern day setting or it's going to be more around the Vietnam period, because Call of Duty has come out around the Cold War period, so a lot of people think it's going to be in the recent past. And this is supported by, if you break down the ticks into 19 and 4, so a date. And if you go through this Wikipedia page, it tells you, all the releases for the Battlefield games, all the way from 1942 to up to Battlefield 5. Now, I'll scroll through quickly, but you're just going to have to trust me through this because I'm not going to go through all the dates for you. But the only date that comes up as 19 and 4 is March the 19th, 2004, which is Battlefield Vietnam. That's when it was released in Europe and I think Africa and stuff like that. It was released a little bit earlier in the US. But I think this makes sense because Nicholas Astran, that's been tied up in all of this, is in Europe. And interestingly, my research into the STG-44 also supports this theory. Just a heads up, the numbers on the STG didn't refer to anything, it only actually referred to the gun, so there was no further insights there. But further down in my research, I got to Wikipedia, and this is the statement that stood out to me. The STG-44 effect on the post-war arms design was wide-ranging, as made evident by the AK-47 and later the M16. Now, at the time of reading that, I didn't know when the AK-47 was really used or the M16, but I had a sneaky feeling that it was around the Vietnam period. So I did a quick Google about when the AK-47 and the M16 assault rifles were used, and sure enough, it was slap bang in the Vietnam War. The AK-47 was the primary gun used in the war by the Soviets, whereas the M16 was the primary assault rifle used by the US during the conflict. So I think either one of these by itself would be a coincidence, but I think with Jack Frags Clock separating the ticks between the the first 19 quick ticks and the 4 slow ticks, and that corresponded to the release of Battlefield Vietnam on March the 19th, 2004. And in addition, the STG-44 in Jack Frags' video, popularising the development of the M16 and the AK-47, the primary weapons used in the Vietnam War by the Soviets and the US forces, does speak to the theory that we could be seeing a Battlefield Vietnam as Battlefield 6, but we'll have to wait and see. Further supporting this theory, now this isn't a critical piece of information, this is very, very speculative, but breaking down the ticks instead of into 19 and 4, breaking it down into 23 and 4, and then typing in Battlefield, the first thing you get around Battlefield is referring to this ZSU-234 Shilka, I think that's how you say it. And that is a self-propelled anti-aircraft gun designed by the Soviet Union in the 1960s. Which again is slap bang in the Vietnam War running between 1955 and 1975. So I don't think my theory posits on that, but I think it's also an interesting addition to the theory. So the second theory I had was maybe the 23 and 4 and the 19 and 4 didn't refer to actual dates, but maybe it was multiplication. So I times 23 by 4 and 19 by 4. 23 and 4 comes to 92. And 19 and 4 comes to 76. So I thought maybe this corresponds to days. So I took Jack Frags' video, he released it on the 7th of September, and I added 92 days to the 7th of September and added 76 days separately. So for 76 days, I actually got the 22nd of November. And funnily enough, the 22nd of November was the release of Battlefield 4 on the Xbox One within the European Union. Now, if you add on 92 days, you get the 8th of December 2020. And that is when Battlefield 4, the wiki account, was archived, the 8th of December 2012. So could this be referring to a modern day setting now rather than the Vietnam setting? I'm inclined to disagree. The Vietnam theory stands on a lot stronger ground, where I think the Battlefield 3 and 4 theory, at least in this video, is a little bit more shaky. I do find this fascinating, as up to this point I really did think it was Battlefield 3 and 4, but after doing this research I'm in two minds for sure. Some of the other lines of questioning I went down is I thought, well, maybe the dates refer to Nicholas Astrand's Twitter feed. As I've said previously, he's been caught up in all of this, but unfortunately, no cigar there. I was also interested in the stopwatch. When were stopwatches popularised? When did stopwatches stop being used? But unfortunately that led to a dead end, as that was in the 1800s, so I doubt they'll be making a Battlefield in the 1800s. I was also really interested, as I said at the start of this video, in the image on the clock, but for the life of me I couldn't find any information around that image or whether we've ever seen an image like that. So let me know if you found anything around that image in the comments, or if you've got any other theories really. As always, thank you very, very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this theory. I think the Vietnam one definitely has some gravitas to it. If you did enjoy, be sure to subscribe, give this video a like. Thanks for watching once again, really do appreciate it, and yeah, peace out everybody.